All right, what's going on? Charles Botenston here. Just wanted to make sure we are live. We're going to be talking about something that was asked a couple of times, actually, which is the future of technology based on our lives. And if you think about it, we have come from just dust, just little specks of dust back in the Big Bang, if that's the actual theory, if that theory is correct, the Big Bang theory. Nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. You could speculate it and you could put it at a very high probability based on all the tests. And if you take time and you just shrink it back to where we all started, which is insane. So you just have gases that came together, exploded, and then the whole universe just came to be over billions of years. You literally have gases that came together. You have which formed solids, which not really it's solid, it's just energy, it's just vibrating energy that came together, and then there's atmospheres, and then there's gravitational pulls, and then from there obviously you have everything else, which is insane. You have black holes, they speculate wormholes, they obviously have light years, which how they actually decipher the speed of light and how far away objects are from Earth. Where was that whole space before? So we'll first talk in the immediate future, and the immediate future is when most people are going to be alive. So we're really going to cover two areas. Number one is which will be after, but in the immediate future is going to be health. Okay, so this is the immediate future, is that if we keep on going at the path we're going, we're going to reach something called, it's essentially the escape velocity of health, where as we age, the technology that we get keeps up with our aging. Right now is that technology is lagging behind our health. So though we're living longer, we're still dying. In other words, we're dying at a later average age, and the technology can keep you alive all the way until, say, 79 or 80 or 81 or whatever it is in your country. And there's going to be a time that the technology is going to be literally equilibrium to our aging. So as we age, we're going to be able to easily grow and replace organs, skin. We're going to be able to, if someone's in a fire, if someone is, it's going to become a regular basis that instead of actual surgeons, we're going to have robots do it, and it's going to be essentially by a surgeon, first electronically electronically doing the surgery. Then you're going to have it where the doctor pre-programs, and it's going to be able to take a scan of the body. It's going to know the depth of the skin and where everything is located. Because if you think about it, the surgeon, as it's doing, it's still human error. They still have, I think it was 2 or 3% of cases each year, they do the surgery on the wrong side of the body. Okay? That's human error. Okay? They also have a higher percentage of deaths due to easily check. There's something called the Checklist Manifesto. It's a book by a doctor, and he said even the smallest items, they have a checklist. They have checklists for checklists, which is, are we operating on the right side of the body? Because they've operated on the wrong side of the body, and then they've cut open the body and they're like, oh shit, we're on the wrong side. And we laugh about it, but that's a real issue, because the lapse of judgment, maybe someone's tired, maybe somebody forgets, maybe it's the wrong patient, maybe the papers come in differently. So look at the health. And then there's something that Ray Kurzweil is talking about, where we're going to be able to live hundreds of years, is that we're going to be able to manufacture the food. Think about it. Like our child mortality rate is so much lower. It's per 1,000 babies compared to what it was 100 years ago. Imagine 100 years from now, okay? We're going to be able to do surgeries, and we're going to be able to create whatever we want. Eyes, fingers, bones. We're then going to become bionic, where if we lose an arm, say in war or battle or an accident, or it's just not even there because of birth, is that I forget who it was, they actually came up with that people are then going to opt for bionic arms because it's going to be stronger, and you're not even going to have the blood flow. And just think about it. Imagine if your arm didn't get tired because it was just metal. It was just robotics. We're going to get to a point where it's literally just going to be our brains. Is that we're going to be able to see further. We're going to be able to put contact lenses on. We're going to be able to see further. We're going to be able to breathe deeper because we can expand our lungs. We're going to have the ability, and this was actually one of the big, 2 cases came up in races already where the guys, they've actually come to the point where racing with bionic legs is actually faster now because there's a bigger spring in the person's step. And now it's come to the attention of the Olympic Committee. It's like, I don't know if we should be able to do that. And then even further is that they're taking, it's not illegal substances, but it's essentially saying, okay, if you want to actually compete, you're going to be able to take, I don't know if it's stem cells. They're going to be able to take something that they're going to be able to run faster, not be tired, have a clearer focus, be stronger. And if you don't take that and you're a normal human, in 150 years, being a normal human is going to be a disadvantage. That's how crazy the technology is, okay? They said by 2027, 2028, we're going to actually be able to download the internet into our brain, okay? Right now, we have, on our smart device, we have the internet, okay? So we have pretty much the computing power right now on our phone of the world's internet on our phone. We're going to be able to then get that on a wearable, okay? So we're going to be able to get our phone on here. We pretty much can, but it's not really that good. Like an Apple Watch, it's really not that good. Soon we're going to be able to, it's going to hear our voice, it's going to know our voice, and it's literally then going to be imprinted on us, okay? Then we're going to be able to get the internet. We're going to be able to get Wi-Fi. It's going to be solar or however chargeable they're going to have it. And then we're going to be able to get the internet on us as a wearable. Then it's going to be in our eyes. Then it's going to be in our brains. And that's essentially what Elon Musk is doing. He just unleashed the 3 new vehicles, the Roadster and the semi-truck, and they're insane, okay? These people don't come along that often, okay? There's the Einsteins, the Nikola Teslas, the people that really advanced just humanity. This is the guy, is Elon Musk, is that he has a Roadster that's it goes 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1.9 seconds. In 60 seconds, or 60 miles an hour. And they said it's going to have over a max speed of 250 miles an hour. That's crazy. The semi-truck pulling 80,000 pounds, which is the max, it's going to be able to, so whatever, I'm not going to get into that. It's going to be, it already goes 0 to 60 in I think 20 seconds, and the other one is like 0 to 60 in like 40 seconds or 35 seconds. It literally takes almost double the time. So we're going to get to a point where we're going to be able to literally access the internet in our brain, okay? So what does that mean? All right, we're getting to a point right now. So the technology, where is it going? It's going to be obviously a wearable. Privacy is going to be outside the door. When you're advertising, people are going to know exactly who you are, what you're going to think. We're going to get to the point where the movie Minority Report is going to become a reality, which is crazy, where they're going to be able to know if you are going to pre-crime, you're going to commit a crime before you commit the crime. That might be a reality. That's insane. Okay, so they arrest you before you actually do the crime. So what are the things? Number one is, since the health is expanding and we're going to live longer, what does that mean? We need better ways. Excuse me. Energy is not going to be an issue. I'm not worried about energy. I'm not worried about food. Okay. The 2 things I'm worried about, number one is water. Water, we're going to have to think of better processes to take water and to be able to hydrate all the food, hydrate all the humans, hydrate all the animals, hydrate everything, okay? Number 2 is also the amount of people that are going to be on planet Earth, okay? Where obviously that's where Elon Musk is thinking, is that by 2030, 2040, 2050, we're going to need to be on another planet, at least expanding. Mars is not going to be the easiest place too, because you're always going to have to be in a place where there's obviously oxygen, it's really cold, they're going to have to create the atmosphere over hundreds of years. Mars could be a habitable planet, okay? That's not far-fetched. It's going to take a while. This is my concern, and you guys leave your chat, this is my concern, is that we're going to reach a point where doing work and having a purpose is it's going to be irrelevant, because we're going to get to a point where almost everything is just robotic. We're going to get to the point that if you don't have advanced knowledge into app development, website development, creation, media, content, into the things that need that creativity, making burgers, making food, driving cars, those automated tasks, banks, all of them are outside of the window. But design of clothes, design and advancing human nature, or humans, that's where all the jobs will be going. And if you can't do that, all the people that are left behind in the flyover states, the places that they rely on, say, farming or agriculture or manufacturing, they're gone. You know, car manufacturing, all those businesses are out of the door. They don't understand. Places like Ford, Jaguar, GM, they don't understand. Maybe they do understand. Maybe they're way far ahead of where I am right now. But we're not going to need the amount of cars that we need right now. Tesla is going to be coming out with cars that they're already automated, but they're not even going to need a driver. Because they're not going to need a driver, Elon Musk said 80% of a car's life is sitting in a parking lot. So think about that. 80% of a car's parking lot is sitting, or car lifespan is sitting in a parking lot. So if it's sitting in a parking lot, why is it not making money for you? Why is it not moving? Why is it not doing something? So what it's going to do is you're going to buy the car. It's going to drop you off at work. When you're at work for those 8 hours, it's going to be going around making you money. It's also probably going to be making Tesla money because they own the technology and they're going to own the app. Okay, so Uber, it's not really going to be around unless Uber, they partner up with someone else. I think they already did. They partnered with Ford or GM, one of the big car manufacturers. And then when you're sleeping, it's going to go out and it's going to go make money. So that means all the cabbies, all the people making cars, all the manufacturing, that's going to be gone. It's all going to be robotics. So the universal basic income is essentially my concern. Why is it my concern? Is that obviously everyone's thinking about, you know, everyone said once we had the cars, all the people that had horses, bye-bye. All the, you know, once we had the spinning Jenny, I think it was, or the spin gen or whatever, that made clothing, people thought that people were going to be completely just put out of work. All right, we're going to reach a point where there's going to be so much automation that are there enough jobs? And if there's not enough jobs, the only reason that people do bad things is they don't, or they lose faith, is they don't see a future. They don't see a bright future. They don't see their worth. They don't see what they're doing is working. That is literally the why of why someone does anything, saves money, wants to create, wants to do more, leave a legacy, speak or read or get better, because they have faith that what they're doing at one time is going to help people, is that what they're doing actually helps people. Because if they feel that it only helps themselves, you can only use that as sustaining energy before you burn out, because you're only helping yourself. But when you thrive from other people's input and feedback that you're actually helping them, then you're going to expand, okay? So that's my biggest concern, is that we're going to get to a point where life already is so easy, so easy. That's the thing, is that people need to get it through their minds that whatever issues that we have right now, and I know you have issues, we all have issues, but the thing is, someone else had those issues and then some. And then some, I mean, they didn't know where their next meal was going to come. They didn't actually have a house. They could have been at war. And we're talking about 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Maybe they were indentured servants or slaves, or they were freezing because they just came to America, or they just discovered a place maybe 5,000 years ago, or they had to actually fight against not only the outdoors and nature, but animals, okay? The elements. So they also had stress. They also had to go to war. They also had maybe a cheating wife or ill health or a shitty son or daughter, and they still had to survive. We're in a time that we can get water at any time, pretty much. We can get clothing at almost any time. We can get food at almost any time. We have access to pretty much any person in the world at any time nowadays. We're going to get to a point where it's going to get even easier, where it's going to be accessed in our brain. So the only people that actually can thrive and be successful in the future are the people that actually can control their attention. How do you control your attention? You have to be able to be present and unplug and not be able and not rely on the technology. You have to use it as a tool instead of it using you. That's the biggest thing, is that if you can't control your attention, you're fucked. Because people are trying to get your attention all the time. Advertisements, marketers, apps, your cell phone, dating, TV, drama, magazines, movies, documentaries, Amazon, Apple. They're spending billions and billions and billions of dollars to get your attention so they can expand their footprint. How about you control your attention so you can expand your footprint? Okay? It's really what it comes down to, is that we're gonna reach a point where we're not gonna need to really worry about anything. Cars are gonna be safer, so it's gonna be automated. We're really not gonna get into accidents. We're gonna get to a point where beautiful, incredible food and water is just gonna be more abundant than it is right now. You know, money is gonna be abundant, health and everything is gonna be so abundant that we're gonna need to have a purpose. And if we can't have the people that have lost their jobs find a purpose, society is really, it's gonna be in a tough place. That is my concern. Elon Musk's concern is that, because they said the computing power of computers by 2026 is gonna be all of humanity, okay? And the collective nature of humanity. By 2019 or 2020, I think he said, it's gonna be the collective nature of our one person's brain. That's where it's gonna be. And in 2027 or 2030, it's gonna be every person on this globe's combined into one thing. That's the computing power that we're gonna get to, okay? And if you guys have any questions, leave it below, because attention is the only area that we're really gonna need to focus on. The only actual areas that are gonna have any need for any jobs is creative, for entertainment, for service, and that's it. Anything that makes something, like make a car or make wood, there's gonna be specialties, there's gonna be customizations, but to be honest, it's gonna be all automated, okay? And it's gonna be delivered to you by drones, and they're all gonna be connected to the internet. They're all gonna be wired in Wi-Fi devices. Google already said there's gonna be over, I think 8 or 9 billion connected devices. If all of those, and that's what Google wants, is to connect. So this is the layer of Google, I'll go over right now, is that if you use Google Email or Drive, Google Drive and everything else, you have the first layer. That's using their basic tools. Then you have something called Google Developer, or Google, it's something right around there, and my buddy uses it, and he has this entire backend that he spends a lot of money on, and he can make those apps, or he can make something for each one of those apps. Google Drive, Calendar, Gmail, Photos, whatever, any of those apps. And he has this special, complete just overview of anyone that he actually puts into those apps. He has all the information. Where are they? What are the browsers? How often are they using? How long are they using it? When do they log in? How often do they log in? Do they share it? Do they blah, blah, blah? He has all of that. And then above that, you have Google. And Google essentially wants to have access to all of the connected devices. That's why they're giving you these free products, because they have access to that entire umbrella. That entire umbrella that is your cell phone, your device, your location, your gender, your age, what you like to do, what you browse, what you search for, what you watch, what do you read, what do you what emails do you open? They have access to all of that. So not only do they have the written word, that's already searchable, that's easy. The photos are gonna be next. They're gonna be able to, Facebook is also working on that. They're gonna be able to just pinpoint who's in what photo, what people do you click on, is it male, is it female, is it old, is it young? They already are pretty much gonna do that. The next one is video, okay? There's already crazy video that they can imitate someone, anyone. Look at, they have 2 videos out there, George Bush and Barack Obama, and it's a side-by-side of a person like me, and then they have Barack Obama or George Bush, and they go like this, and George Bush's mouth looks natural. They do the speech in their voice. It's insane, all right? So if you don't understand that you have to get better than the machines, first of all, you have to get better than the people. Then you have to get better than the machines. That's really what it's gonna come down to. Once the machines are actually able to learn from their mistakes, then that's where Elon is really nervous about, is that we're gonna have machines that are smarter and better than us in 2050, And we're gonna be able to control them? I don't know. if they start learning and they start doing 2100 or 2100, I mean 2100 or 2200 or whatever the heck, all the way out. Imagine that. Imagine the year 5000. We're going to be going throughout all of the universe. We're going to be on spaceships, literally cruising around at hundreds of thousands of miles an hour between planets. Planet Earth is going to be the original planet. Then you're going to have Mars and beyond. That's what Elon Musk wants to do, is that use Mars as pretty much the jump point to other places. In 1,000 years or 2,000 years, we're going to be able to go literally from Earth to Mars, and then from Mars to another place, and you're literally going to visit planets. That's crazy. And then by that time, people are going to say, what's out here? What is out here? How is this created? Where did this come from? Are we ever going to learn that? That's the ultimate question. And that's why Peter Diamandis and what's his name, and Elon Musk say that we live in a simulation. Because we literally can go to, we can literally create anything. He uses the metaphor Pong. What was it, 30 years ago? It was just two lines and a dot. And then in 30 years, Moore's Law doubled every 2 years, the memory and the speed and the processor speed. And it's literally at a triangulation of an upward curve of just everything is coming in. You have private, you have public, and then you also have the demand for it. So the upward curve is probably almost every 6 months, the processing speed is going to increase. And it's going to just become lighter and lighter. Like, this is going to be the way of a Model T Ford. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. That's my take on technology. AR and VR, if you want the immediate future, no one's really going to, I would say AR and VR, you know what it is? It's like 360 video. 360 video came on and people didn't really take to it because they had to do a lot. I think AR is really the place to be. That's probably, if we really want to guess, probably 6 to 7 years out, because VR is going to come in, but then we're going to immediately pick up AR. You know what it is? This is the way to think about it. So back in the day, you had this big disc. It was known as the laser disc. The Laserdisc came out and it was super popular for, I think, 5 or 6 years. And then the DVD came out. And then the DVD just dominated because it was so much smaller, it was so much easier, it held a lot more memory, it was a lot faster, the player that it played on was a lot smaller. So that's the thing, is that I think VR is going to be fun because you're going to be able to do whatever you want, but I think AR is going to be able to literally knock out anything outside, and it's going to be a permanent fixture in our eyeballs, and we're going to be able to see the text messages and the phone calls, we're going to be able to take pictures, it's going to have Wi-Fi, everything just right there. And Ray Kurzweil was the one, I have a client that it's known as nanotechnology. And if you think about this, nanotechnology, thank you for the folks that are watching, nanotechnology, this is crazy, is that he's inventing something that once you take this pill, the technology that he has in there is going to be able to attack certain areas of the body. So this is what happens now. If you have cancer, they will just focus on one area of the body and just dominate your body with radiation and essentially just kill everything, the good and the bad cells. So that's why cancer could come back or it could spread or whatnot. Did we get everything? I don't know. But they just do the whole area and they kill the good and the bad. Okay? What he's coming up with is something that when you take it, when you ingest this or you inject it, I don't know how it's taken, but it will literally attack specific areas that it's supposed to. So it keeps the good and it just attacks the bad. It's known as nanotechnology. He just got a huge grant. I don't know how much it was, but he's down in Texas and he's explaining it. I'm like, that's insane. Like, how do you even think of that? You take something and attacks that exact area instead of just killing everything. That's amazing. So we're going to reach that health-wise. That's going to be in the near future. And then obviously technology, we're going to have to figure out a way so people still have a purpose in life. That's where my concern is. If we don't have a purpose in life, we're fucked, because then we're just living. We're just existing. Okay, and that's my biggest fear, is just existing and not giving back. So if you guys have any questions, Yes, it is. Nanotechnology is going to be crazy. And then Ray Kurzweil doubled down on this, is that Ray Kurzweil said that we're going to be able to ingest something that is the size of a red blood cell. I think he said 2030, we're going to have it ingest something. And inside there is going to have everything about you. It's going to have where you're born, and it would just be in your body permanently. So you don't even need any ID. Okay? You want to go to a bar, you want to pay for something, you just stick out your hand or you stick out your arm. It's just going to be in you. All right. So if you're in an accident or they're like, oh, who is this person? He doesn't have a wallet. He doesn't have anything. They're going to be able to scan it. They're going to be like, oh, okay, he's previously had XYZ diseases or whatever. And we're not going to give him this kind of medication because it may conflict. And then I'll leave you with this. And if you guys have any questions, the 3 people that are watching, I love it. Thank you very much. I'll leave you with this, is that we're going to reach a point where the actual... It's hard to explain that the actual need for us to give back and not just exist, and I know I talked about this, but the need for us to actually give back and not exist, we're going to have to do that and not overeat or not get stressed out, because we can find a cure for these things. We'll be able to find a cure for these things, except the problem is we're going to get so lazy, it's going to become so easy, so convenient. A car is going to be outside, it's going to drop you off exactly where you are. You're always going to be sitting down. So the need and the drive to exercise, to actually do the things that other people don't want to do, will become extra important. Reading, downloading the knowledge, okay? Because you can already look up the things. 1776, George Washington, you can look up things, but negotiating or selling or influencing or just knowing the data is really going to be the competitive advantage, okay? The things that you need to internalize and then spew out. The data of the Google search is going to be easy. That's already going to be in us. We're just going to say, okay, where is this place? It's going to tell us. Is this restaurant open? It's going to tell us. Can I make a reservation? We're already going to know. Reservation made. Okay, but if there's no reservations, the ability, because you've learned all these books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck or whatever, the ability to walk up to a restaurant and get a reservation, it's because you did the cognitive, critical thinking. That is it. The ability to know there's a growth mindset and keep going, that's what's going to keep people alive and on purpose and the competitive advantage. That's why you need to start now, because if you buy a horse when the Model T Ford came out, that's not the best person. When you bought a medallion, when Uber came out, the last medallion in New York City, so a medallion is you need the medallion to drive a taxi, a yellow cab, not an Uber or a Lyft, but a medallion to drive a yellow cab in New York City, sold because there was only a certain amount, sold for $1 million. That was the last one. It sold for $1 million. You know what it was up for last? Like 200,000. So that person lost they saved up their whole life, bought it for $1 million, and now it's worth only 200,000. Why? Because now you have Lyft and Uber. So you want to know these technologies before you make a stupid investment. You have to have a growth mindset. That's the only competitive advantage you're going to have, is the critical, creative thinking. And I'll just say this. Thank you, Skinny Jeans, for the comments. I'll get to the last one, which is, as someone who went through chemotherapy and radio, really look forward to new treatments. Exactly. Highly recommend watching the movie. Oh man, it just came out and I just saw it and it was amazing. It's a new documentary. I'll think of it and I'll put it in the next movie or the next live. All right, so this is the last thing I'm going to leave you with, is that I actually just forgot it, but if you guys have any questions, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be leaving you guys, and obviously coming back. If you guys want any subjects or anything else that you want me to cover, subscribe to the video, leave your comments below, and of course, as always, let me know what you want me to talk about next. Talk to you guys.